Imagine living in a world where clean water and sanitation facilities were a luxury. A place where you have to travel hundreds of miles to collect a gallon of water and defecate in public. This is the sad reality for more than 85% of the world's population. According to UNICEF, 783 million people do not have access to clean water, and an additional 2.5 billion do not have access to adequate sanitation facilities. The United Nations defines water scarcity as a lack of sufficient available water resources to meet the demands of water usage within a region. It already affects every continent and around 2.8 billion people around the world, at least 1 month out of the year. More than 1.2 billion people lack access to clean drinking water. Due to the water scarcity, living conditions have been affected tremendously. According to the World Health Organization, there is an estimated 2.5 billion people that lack access to improved sanitation, which means that more than 35% of the world's population does not have access to an adequate sanitation facility. Clean water and adequate sanitation facilities is something that is taken for granted. It is a basic human right that should be available to everyone, regardless of their economic standing and location. Clean, safe drinking water is scarce. Nearly 1 billion people in the developing world do not have access to it. Yet we take it for granted, we waste it, and we even pay too much to drink it from little plastic bottles. Water is the foundation of life, and yet so many people have to spend their entire day searching for it. This is Kibera, a division of the Nairobi area in Kenya. It is the largest slum in Nairobi and the largest urban slum in all of Africa. As you can see, it has been tremendously affected by the water and sanitation crisis. This is Margaret, a resident of Kibera.
Mtu anatupa uchafu hapo. Sasa hewa yote inaingia kwa nyumba. Tena maji mvua ikinyesha, maji inaingia hapa, alafu inapitia pale. Inajaa kabisa. Yaani inajaa. Mpaka tumetoboa pale, ndio inaelekea huko chini.
Diseases from unsafe water and lack of basic sanitation kill more people every year than all forms of violence, including war. Children are especially vulnerable as their bodies aren't strong enough to fight diarrhea, dysentery, and other illnesses. Statistics show that 90% of the 30,000 deaths that occur every week from unsafe water and unhygienic living conditions are in children under 5 years old. The World Health Organization reports that over 3.6% of the global disease burden can be prevented simply by improving water supply, sanitation, and hygiene. In Africa alone, people spend 40 billion hours every year walking for water. This is time spent not working, caring for family members, or attending school. Women and young girls are responsible for collecting water for their families and communities. This puts them at greater risk for becoming victims of harassment and sexual assault. Therefore, it is important to provide safe water nearby in order to prevent these things from happening, as well as to improve their quality of life. Without water, small businesses, nor global industries, family farms, or major agribusinesses can function properly. Poor water quality or limited access to reliable water means higher costs for all businesses and consumers. The global water crisis means greater risks for a community's long-term viability and has endangered the community's ability to grow and create jobs as well as to be efficient. In the developing world, lack of proper water and sanitation constricts economic growth drastically. On July 28, 2010, the United Nations created a three-step approach. The first is to legislate for water as a human right. People are entitled to 20 liters per day, and the government should provide water regardless of their economic standing. The second is that international donors need to do more. This includes funding infrastructure and developing technology. And the third is a need for a global action plan. People must become aware of how much water they spend and that we should conserve it. In 2010, the United Nations recognized that water and sanitation are a human right. Water as a human right is as much about the quality, making sure that the water is clean and you do not get sick from drinking it, as it is about access. Safe drinking water and adequate sanitation are crucial for poverty reduction, crucial for sustainable development, and crucial for achieving any and every one of the Millennium Developmental Goals. I decided to start raising money for water.org because I believe safe water is necessary for life, and there are 660 million people around the world without it. Access to safe water can change a person's world and allow them to define their own future. Water.org has been helping people develop sustainable solutions for more than 20 years. Together we can change lives with safe water. Join me and my friends in helping to solve the water crisis. Together we can change lives. And it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Simply click on the link and contribute to whatever you can. For every $25 that you contribute to my fundraiser before November 30th, Water.org will receive an additional $25, and we can give 2 people access to safe water.